Drugs can entangle even the brightest Hollywood stars, trapping them in a vicious cycle that's hard to escape, despite having fame, money, and admiration. However, not all remain lost in that darkness. Some, like Robert Downey Jr. and Drew Barrymore, have found the strength to break free from addiction's grip, rebuild their lives, and prove that resilience can overcome the toughest battles. Their journeys show that with the right support and a strong will to change, anyone can rise above temptation, conquer their inner demons, and reclaim a meaningful life. Leave a comment with the number 1, and let's explore their powerful stories together. Lindsay Lohan rose to fame in Hollywood during the 1990s and early 2000s, only to see her career slip away quickly due to a wild party lifestyle and reckless decisions. Following standout performances in The Parent Trap and Freaky Friday, producers were eager to cast her in films. However, that enthusiasm soon faded as reports of her late-night partying surfaced. Directors grew increasingly frustrated with her habit of arriving late or completely missing shoots due to exhaustion. By 2007, Lindsay found herself isolated, and her troubles only worsened. She faced multiple DUI charges, including accidents. In a court hearing, Lindsay candidly admitted that her life was spiraling out of control due to her addiction to drugs and alcohol. She acknowledged her recent relapse and expressed her desire to regain control of her life. "I want to be healthy again. That's why I'm seeking medical help," she stated, affirming her commitment to making positive changes. Since leaving rehab in 2013, Lindsay appears to be on the right path, but the damage to her career and personal relationships from her battles with substance abuse remains significant. Majek Fashek, widely known as the Rainmaker, was a renowned Nigerian musician and actor who rose to prominence in the 1980s and 90s. He composed many iconic songs and collaborated with legendary artists like Snoop Dogg, Michael Jackson, and Beyoncé. However, his journey took a tragic turn as he battled addiction in the 2000s and 2010s. In 2015, the world was shocked to learn that Majek was on the brink of bankruptcy and struggling with addiction. Disturbing images of him circulated in the media, showing his frail and aged appearance, reflecting his serious health issues. That year, he took a brave step by checking into a rehabilitation center. Against all odds, Majek found a path to recovery and spent his remaining years making music and cherishing moments with family and friends. His legacy endures, resonating in the hearts of fans who admire his talent and spirit. Tragically, Majek passed away in June 2020 at the age of 57, leaving behind a rich musical legacy. Whitney Houston was known as The Voice, and it's easy to see why she earned that title as one of the most talented and beautiful singers and actresses in American music. Whitney sold over 200 million records worldwide. However, behind the captivating melodies and powerful performances lies a dark aspect of her story. Whitney had long been suspected of battling drug addiction, and she bravely opened up about her struggles in a 2009 interview with Oprah Winfrey. In that candid conversation, she admitted to using marijuana and stronger substances, revealing the emotional turmoil behind her choices. When it gets to the point where you're sitting at home trying to hide what you don't want others to see, it's painful. That's when you take more just so you don't cry. Despite battling many issues, Whitney sought help, entering rehab in 2003 and 2004. Unfortunately, her struggle with substance abuse continued throughout her life. In 2012, she tragically passed away under heartbreaking circumstances. An autopsy revealed alcohol and multiple drugs in her system, likely contributing to her untimely death. Courtney Love is a beloved singer and actress who has left her mark on 4 decades in film and music, starting in the 1980s. But she didn't only capture attention for her talent. Her turbulent marriage with legendary musician Kurt Cobain kept her constantly in the media spotlight. A Vanity Fair journalist described their relationship as a strange love, yet they always cared deeply for each other. Sadly, their devotion extended to something more destructive: heroin. What began as a shared habit quickly spiraled out of control, leading to media criticism and severe health consequences. The situation worsened when Courtney became pregnant, forcing her to quit drugs entirely for the sake of the child. This posed a significant challenge for their relationship, and media allegations that Courtney was still using drugs during her pregnancy only fueled the controversy. She asserted that these damaging stories severely affected Kurt's mental health, ultimately leading to his death 2 years later. Since then, Courtney has committed to sobriety, claiming she has managed her addiction well despite multiple rehab stints and even a few probation violations. While she remains confident that her days of substance abuse are behind her, a brief relapse in 2018 has led some to question the truth of that claim. Only time will tell if she can fully leave her past behind. DMX was one of the world's most famous rappers and actors. His explosive hits like Where the Hood At and X Gon' Give It To Ya rocked the music world and continue to resonate with fans to this day. Although DMX had the potential to become a lasting rap legend, his personal struggles quickly overshadowed his career. With a long history of legal issues, DMX faced an even bigger battle with drug addiction, specifically crack cocaine. He revealed that he was introduced to the drug at just 14, and from that point, his life spiraled out of control. Despite undergoing multiple rehab attempts, DMX continued to fight a difficult battle against addiction. He vowed to stay clean, especially after becoming a father, but unfortunately, a relapse led to a heartbreaking tragedy. In April 2021, DMX suffered a fatal overdose at the age of 50. Although he struggled with substance abuse, he remained a revered figure in hip-hop, celebrated for his raw talent and unforgettable contributions to the music industry. His legacy continues to inspire countless fans and artists around the world. Charlie Sheen became famous for his iconic role in the hit TV show 2.5 Men, which brought him widespread fame, numerous awards, and millions of dollars. While fans adored him worldwide, newfound wealth didn't always lead to the best choices. Almost immediately after rising to fame, Charlie made headlines for his wild parties and battles with addiction. His first stint in rehab was in 1998, but his struggle with addiction continued for many years. In December 2009, things took a turn for the worse when he was charged with assault after an alleged incident with his wife. Although he entered rehab again by October 2010, he was back in the spotlight, but not for positive reasons. 5 years later, Charlie publicly revealed that he was HIV positive, a disclosure that, although damaging to his reputation, helped raise awareness of the disease. Since then, he has remained a controversial figure, known for wild parties and shocking scandals. During a 2011 celebration event, comedians couldn't resist poking fun at his wild lifestyle and troubled personal life. Whether Charlie can overcome this turbulent period remains entirely up to him. Mel Gibson burst onto the Hollywood scene in the 1980s with a standout role in the 1981 film Gallipoli. Over 2 decades, he built a reputation as a powerful actor, shining at the peak of his career. However, a wave of negative publicity and personal controversies began to overshadow his once brilliant reputation. By the 2000s, Mel found himself largely out of the limelight, facing a difficult period in his career until his strong comeback as director of the critically acclaimed Hacksaw Ridge in 2016. During those challenging years, Mel grappled with personal demons he rarely discussed. He admitted to having started drinking at just 13, which led to a troubling history of alcohol-related offenses. In 1984, Mel was banned from driving in Canada for 3 months after a drunk driving incident, and by 2006, he faced a DUI charge, resulting in 3 years of probation. Despite these challenges, many in Hollywood were surprised by Mel's ability to maintain professionalism on set. His reputation for punctuality and dedication remained intact, even as he revealed that he often started his mornings with 5 pints of beer. "Alcoholism is an issue my family has struggled with," Mel said. "It's something I know well." Judy Garland rose to fame with her unforgettable role in *The Wizard of Oz*. While girls her age in the 1940s and 50s were busy with toys, Judy captivated audiences with iconic characters in cinema history. Her talent earned her numerous accolades, including a Golden Globe and the distinction of being the first woman to win a Grammy. However, by the 1960s, Judy began to fade from the spotlight. Beneath her glamorous exterior, she faced hidden battles which ultimately led to a tragic end. Fame, once a blessing, became a double-edged sword as relentless scrutiny took a heavy toll on her self-image and mental health. Film directors frequently criticized her appearance, and this constant criticism weighed heavily on the young star. In search of comfort, Judy turned to drugs, a choice that led to a spiral of substance abuse, further complicating her already troubled life. By the late 1950s and early 60s, her addiction not only threatened her career, but also plunged her into mounting debt. Tragically, her battle ended with her untimely death in June 1969. Carrie Fisher is best known for her iconic role as Princess Leia in the blockbuster Star Wars series. After the massive success of these films, she enjoyed many lucrative acting roles and a place in the spotlight. However, behind the glamour, Carrie's life was far from perfect. In an interview with Stephen Fry, she opened up about her long struggle with bipolar disorder, which brought on severe mood swings and bouts of depression. Unfortunately, Carrie turned to unhealthy coping mechanisms, including drug abuse and prescription medications, to manage her symptoms. "Drugs made me feel normal," she admitted in an interview with Psychology Today. "They kept me grounded." In her journey toward relief, Carrie even underwent electroconvulsive therapy, hoping to find a cure for her mental illness. Despite her struggle with substance abuse and unconventional treatments, her acting career remained on course, but they took a significant toll on her physical and mental health. She faced numerous health issues, including sleep apnea and atherosclerosis, which ultimately contributed to her tragic death in December 2016, at only 60 years old. Her daughter, Billie Lourd, reflected on her mother's struggles, saying, "My mom battled addiction and mental health issues her entire life. Ultimately, she died of it." Joaquin Phoenix is often remembered for his brilliant performance in the 2019 film Joker, but his brother River also had an acting career, although not as widely recognized, which included several notable roles in the 1980s and 90s. Sadly, few remember River Phoenix's contributions to cinema today, largely due to his lifelong battle with substance abuse, a struggle that ultimately cost him everything he cherished. In June 1989, Joaquin Phoenix's relationship with actress Martha Plimpton ended when she discovered his drug use. After their breakup, River tried to hide his addiction, fearing it would ruin his career. Tragically, he concealed it so well that most people around him were unaware of his struggle. With no one intervening or encouraging him to seek help, Rivers' addiction spiraled out of control. In October 1993, he suffered a fatal drug overdose, leading to his untimely death. Nick Stahl began his acting journey as a child star in the 1993 film The Man Without a Face, later appearing in various television series. In May 2012, he was reported missing by his wife, which led to the revelation that he had checked himself into a rehab center. However, his troubles didn't end there. A few months later, he was caught in a compromising situation with an adult film star, raising concerns about his drug use. Although there wasn't enough evidence to press charges at the time, the situation escalated in June 2013 when Nick was arrested for methamphetamine possession in Hollywood. Reflecting on his struggles, Nick admitted in an interview, "I didn't discriminate. I'd take anything to change the way I felt when I was sober." After taking a few years off to focus on recovery, Nick returned to acting, hoping to rebuild his career in the industry. Britney Spears is globally celebrated as the Princess of Pop, with a music and acting career that defined the sound of the 2000s and 2010s. However, her journey hasn't only revolved around chart-topping hits. It also included a highly publicized legal battle to break free from conservatorship, which she successfully achieved in 2021. Although Britney remains incredibly popular and wealthy, her life has not been all lights and glamour. In 2007, a former associate revealed shocking truths about Britney's personal struggles. He stated that when he started working with her, Britney had been battling substance abuse for 5 years and was desperately trying to quit. Adding to these challenges, those responsible for her care during her conservatorship prescribed drugs like Adderall. According to Officer Fernando Flores, who frequently visited her, her behavior could shift dramatically from calm to unstable, with conversations about parallel universes. Although Britney has made strides in her recovery since leaving the conservatorship, the effects of past substance abuse continue to haunt her. Errol Flynn is a name that film lovers from the 1930s and 40s won't easily forget, known for his iconic performances in movies like The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood. He became a symbol of charm and romance on screen. However, behind the glamour, Errol led a very different life. Early in his career, he gained a notorious reputation for drinking, smoking, and drug use. His indulgence in various substances was matched only by his secret affairs with young actresses at lavish parties. This relentless pursuit of pleasure eventually came at a price. Errol faced accusations from 2 women who claimed he had assaulted them. The case garnered national attention, and although he was declared not guilty, the scandal impacted his career. Errol's health continued to deteriorate due to substance abuse, and he tragically passed away in 1959 at the young age of 50. His story serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of fame, overshadowing the legendary roles that made him a star. Michael Vincent began his acting career in the 1960s, but it was in the 1980s that he truly rose to fame with his starring role in the series Airwolf. He became a household name, earning up to $200,000 per episode. However, behind the scenes, Jan faced significant personal struggles that complicated his career. During Airwolf, he admitted he was battling drug abuse and claimed to be actively seeking help. Unfortunately, this was only the beginning of his troubles. Jan was arrested 3 times for illegal drug possession and faced criminal charges for assault related to incidents involving his ex-wife. His violent behavior led to further legal issues, including multiple bar fights. In 1988, John was sent to rehab, but his path to recovery was far from smooth. Throughout the 1990s, he was involved in 3 serious car accidents, one of which nearly claimed his life, while another led to surgery that permanently damaged his voice. Despite these wake-up calls, Jan struggled to change his lifestyle, continuing a cycle of accidents, altercations, and substance abuse. His troubled life came to an end in February 2019, when he passed away at the age of 74. An actor I'd like to mention here, who was once devastated by drugs but later became one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, is Robert Downey Jr. His name has a profound impact in Hollywood, especially after his transformation into Iron Man, one of Marvel's most beloved characters. However, before this fame, he went through a tumultuous journey that nearly ruined his career. Growing up, Robert was influenced by his father, the well-known director Robert Downey Sr., who also struggled with substance abuse. Shockingly, his father introduced him to marijuana at just 6 years old. This early exposure to drugs created a complex bond between father and son, leading Robert down a path of addiction, including heavy drinking. Despite battling his demons, Downey Jr. managed to carve out a place for himself in the mid-'80s, gaining recognition after a stint on Saturday Night Live. His roles in John Hughes's Weird Science and The Pickup Artist showcased his charm and talent, helping him climb the Hollywood ladder. However, his addiction soon began to significantly impact his life. One of the most troubling incidents occurred when a drunken Robert wandered into a neighbor's house and passed out on their bed. After repeatedly failing court-ordered drug tests, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison in 1999, ultimately serving 1 year in a rehab facility in California in 2001. While on probation, he was found barefoot and incoherent in Culver City, leading to another arrest on suspicion of drug use. This incident cost him major roles, including a part in the TV show Ally McBeal and other projects. However, instead of prison time, the judge opted for rehab, supported by his wife, Susan Downey, who gave him an ultimatum. In the end, Robert turned his life around in 2003, and his comeback is regarded as one of the most remarkable in Hollywood history. Today, he is not only a symbol of resilience, but also a beloved actor who has regained the trust and admiration of fans worldwide. You know, not everyone can make such an incredible comeback as he did. If you like Robert Downey Jr., comment with the number 1. If you don't, leave a 0. Tara Reid is best known for her memorable roles in films like American Pie and The Big Lebowski. Beyond her acting talent, she has graced the covers of major magazines such as Rolling Stone, Cosmo Girl, and even Playboy. Tara also ventured into the culinary world with her own restaurant, Ketchup, and launched a fashion line. However, amid her various business efforts, Tara faced unhealthy habits that began to impact her life. In a revealing interview, she opened up about a 2006 cosmetic surgery that didn't go as planned, leaving lasting damage to her body. Her health issues were further worsened by frequent alcohol and drug use. In 2008, Tara decided it was time for a change and checked into rehab. "It was the best decision I ever made," she reflected on her journey. "Rehab saved my life." Today, Tara remains in the public eye, and while the scars from her past may never fully heal, she is determined to move forward and embrace a brighter future. Daniel Baldwin's struggles with addiction reached a shocking peak in 1998 when he made headlines for a bizarre incident at New York's Plaza Hotel. He was arrested after running naked through the hallway, shouting his own name. Baldwin was charged with cocaine possession and later pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct, receiving a sentence of 3 months in a drug rehabilitation program. Baldwin later revealed that his cocaine addiction began in 1989, around the time he landed his first acting job at age 29. Unlike many addicts who struggle with multiple substances, Baldwin's battle was solely with cocaine. He didn't drink much or use other drugs, but cocaine had a powerful hold on him, leading to numerous rehab attempts. He entered rehab 9 times before finally overcoming his addiction. Today, Daniel Baldwin has transformed his life. Not only has he continued his acting career, but he has also become a recovery coach. Drawing from his personal experiences, he now helps others struggling with addiction, using his own journey as a source of hope and guidance for those in need. Bruno Mars, the talented producer, singer, and songwriter, captivated global audiences with hits like Uptown Funk and heartfelt ballads like Just the Way You Are. His immense popularity even landed him on Forbes' list of the world's 12 highest-paid artists. However, despite his incredible success, Mars faced a major setback in 2010 when he was arrested for cocaine possession at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas. At the time, Mars claimed it was his first time using drugs and admitted that his actions were foolish. To avoid more serious consequences, he agreed to a plea deal that required him to stay out of trouble for a year. He paid a $2,000 fine and completed 200 hours of community service, allowing the charges to be dismissed and enabling him to move forward after the incident. In a later interview, Mars admitted he hadn't been entirely truthful about his past drug use, attributing the event to youthful mistakes and the influence of alcohol. This experience became a learning moment for the star, allowing him to refocus on his music career. Zac Efron, famous for his breakthrough role in High School Musical, faced his own struggles with alcohol and drug abuse. Reports revealed that Efron's party lifestyle included cocaine use, experimenting with MDMA, and days-long binges without sleep. In 2013, the actor took an important step toward recovery by checking into rehab to address his issues with both alcohol and cocaine. Along with rehab, Efron joined Alcoholics Anonymous and began therapy to explore deeper emotional issues. He has been open about his battle with addiction, describing it as an ongoing struggle. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Efron acknowledged the positive changes in his life, saying that his recovery journey had made him feel more comfortable with himself. Reflecting on his darkest moments, Efron shared that experiencing those lows helped him appreciate the good things in life even more. His openness about addiction has provided insight into the personal growth he has achieved through his recovery journey. Brittany Murphy, famous for her roles in Clueless and Freeway, tragically passed away in 2009 at the age of 32. Her sudden death, initially attributed to natural causes, quickly sparked rumors of drug use, with her noticeable weight loss raising concerns. Her marriage to Simon Majek, widely regarded as troubled by many, only fueled further speculation. The mystery deepened when Majek died under similar circumstances just 5 months later. This double tragedy drew even more attention, especially after a coroner's report revealed multiple medications on Murphy's bedside table, concluding that her death was due to an overdose. Friends later disclosed that Murphy had become dependent on painkillers following cosmetic surgeries, a path that many struggle with. Although debate continues over the exact circumstances, it is clear that addiction played a significant role in the loss of this talented actress. Leonard Nimoy, famous for his role as the logical Vulcan Spock in Star Trek, faced a personal battle with alcohol addiction off-screen. Although his character mastered control of mind and body, Nimoy struggled for years to manage his drinking. What began as a drink to relax after filming gradually escalated. Nimoy admitted, "Every time we wrapped the final scene, I'd have a drink," which eventually became a habit of drinking more and more. Nimoy's drinking even led to him secretly consuming alcohol during filming. Like many celebrities facing addiction, he attributed part of his struggle to the pressures of fame and a turbulent marriage, which deepened his dependence on alcohol as a coping mechanism while navigating these challenges. Fortunately, Nimoy recognized the consequences of his addiction and sought help before it was too late. In 1987, he overcame his alcoholism, marking a turning point in his life. This personal victory coincided with his second marriage, which brought newfound love and stability. Thank you for watching my video. There are many more exciting things in the upcoming videos, so please stay tuned. Thank you and goodbye.